Week 8 of the NFL season has come to an end, and this week was a pretty good week, I guess you could say, in terms of competitive games, especially when you compare it to last week's games. But, let's just get into these games. Starting off with the Thursday Night Football game, Redskins at Vikings. The Vikings won this game 19-9. Stephon Diggs has been going off for the past 3 or 4 games, and against the Redskins, it was more of the same. The Vikings probably should have won by way more because the Redskins aren't good, but it's a Thursday Night Football game. I'm not going to take away anything from the Vikings because it's a Thursday Night Football game. Everybody hates Thursday Night Football. The players hate it. Coaches hate it. Most fans hate it. It's just a bad product due to the teams not having a whole week to prepare. So I'm not taking away anything from the Vikings. The Vikings go to 6-2, and actually in my NFC North prediction video, I had the Vikings going 6-10 if I remember correctly. So the fact that they're 6-2, that's really good and really surprising to me. I didn't think Kirk Cousins could do this good, and to start the season, Kirk Cousins was looking like Kirk Cousins from last year, but hey, he's kind of turned a corner and now he's playing well. But let's see how long this continues, though. And the Redskins, well, they fall to 1-7. There's not much there. Next game, Broncos at Colts. The Colts won this game 15-13. Yikes. If you're an offensive person, you probably didn't like this game. I watched bits and parts of this game, but honestly, this game wasn't entertaining. Brissett played like Jacoby Brissett, a terrible quarterback. Joe Flacco was actually pissed after the game that the Broncos weren't more aggressive, and now Joe Flacco has an injury out of nowhere, and he won't be starting next week, so there's something fishy kind of there. Joe Flacco's all fine and dandy. He calls out the coaching staff, and then all of a sudden, there's an injury, Yeah, I believe that the Broncos coaching staff got pissed at Flacco for calling them out, and then they decided to bench him. And honestly, that says a lot. If Joe Flacco is calling you out, then there's some serious coaching problems going on. Come on, Joe Flacco, he don't ever call out anything. Joe Flacco's a good guy. But for Joe Flacco to get frustrated and actually say something, that's pretty telling in my opinion. Now, as for the Broncos, they fought in 2-6. Their season is over. The Colts, they're 5-2, and so far they've shown that they're a legitimate pretender in the NFL. They're not as good as their record indicates. So, moving on. Buccaneers at Titans. Titans won 27-23. Honestly, for a second there, I thought it was going to be a blowout. Titans started off pretty hot against the Bucs, and then I thought, damn, maybe it could be a blowout the other way because the Buccaneers scored a bunch of consecutive points, but then everything kind of slowed down and the Titans got the win at the end. The Titans, they go to 4-4, and I believe the Titans have won 3 games in a row, or maybe 2. Not too sure, but they're a way better team with Ryan Tannehill than they are with Marcus Mariota. And as for the Buccaneers, they're just extremely inconsistent. One game, Jameis Winston's going off, throwing a bunch of touchdowns. Next game, he throws a bunch of picks, and honestly, that just doesn't vary game to game. It kind of varies drive to drive. You never know what Jameis Winston you're going to get. One drive, he can look like freaking Peyton Manning. The next drive, he can look like Mitchell Trubisky, you know? So, yeah. Personally, I think Jameis Winston is not a good quarterback. I think Bruce Arians should look elsewhere this offseason. Moving on. Next game, Cardinals at Saints. Saints won this one 31-9. I mean, it was expected. Saints defense has been dominating this season. Drew Brees came back and, you know, the Saints played really well, and they did well with Teddy Bridgewater. Drew Brees comes in, and, you know, not to take away anything from Bridgewater, but Drew Brees is, you know, he's a legend. The Saints are only going to get better with Brees, so, yeah, watch out for the Saints, man. I've been saying it all season long. They're going to the Super Bowl. As for the Cardinals, they fought at 3-4-1. In that division, their season is over. Next game, Bengals at Rams. Rams won this game 24-10. I mean, honestly, this game was a little bit more competitive than I thought it should have been, but Cooper Kupp, he played crazy good. He kind of carried the team. He had like 200 yards. Like, he did crazy good. But the Rams, they go to 5-3, and even though they're 5-3, they're still third place in their division. And the Bengals, well, they go to 0-8. Their season's been over since, like, the start of the season. Next game, Jets at Jaguars. Jaguars won this one 29-15. At first, it was looking like it was going to be a little showdown between Gardner Minshew and Sam Darnold, but the Jaguars just took over the game, and they won it pretty handedly. And the Jaguars, well, they go to 4-4, third place in their division, and the Jets, they go to 1-6. Season's over, also third place in their division. Next game, didn't get to watch this one, and I'm kind of disappointed that I didn't get to watch this one. Giants at Lions. The Lions won this one 31-26. From the sounds of it, this game was actually pretty good, and considering I have Golden Tate on my fantasy team and Ty Johnson, you know, who apparently was supposed to be the starting running back for the Lions after Kerryon Johnson went down, had them both on my fantasy team. So I was constantly, you know, checking the stats of that game and stuff. And, you know, it looks like I missed a good one. And the Lions, they go to 3-1. It's going to be kind of tough to make anything happen, man. That division, I believe at the moment they're in third place. But you got the Packers at, like, 7-1 and the Vikings at 6-2. And then you got Seattle, San Francisco, and the Rams also fighting for a playoff spot. Like, it's hard to see this Lions team going to the playoffs. Even though they're way better than their record indicates. I mean, the refs screwed them from 2 games. They should, at the very least, be 5-1-1. And if they didn't choke versus Arizona in week 1, they could be 6-1. This Lions team is way better than their record indicates. I feel like they're one season away, one good off season away from being a really good team. Now, I'm hearing rumors about Darius Slay being on the trade block. I swear, man, if the Lions trade Darius Slay, that'll be one of the biggest mistakes that franchise has ever made. Darius Slay is a shutdown corner, top 5 corner in the league. Extremely underrated. Do not trade him. And as for the Giants, well, they fall to 2-6. Actually, they just traded for Leonard Williams from the Jets. I'm not really sure if that does anything for them because their season's over. So, yeah. Next game, Chargers at Bears. The Chargers beat the Bears 17-16. And yikes, dude, the Bears 3-4, They really, really suck. Trubisky is not a good quarterback. He's just Blake Bortles 2.0. And their head coach, you have a questionable kicker situation, and he chooses to kneel the ball instead of running the ball and getting a few more yards to help out your kicker. But, you decide to kneel the ball, let time run out, and then kick a field goal, and guess what? The kicker missed it. Yikes. Matt Nagy, last year he was looking like a good coach. This year, yikes. As for the Chargers, they get another win. The Chargers, they're extremely injured, so any win that they can get, no matter how they get it, is good for the Chargers, in my opinion. Next game, Eagles at Bills. Eagles beat the Bills 31-13. The Bills have just been exposed. I still love their defense. Their defense is amazing. I absolutely love it. But how in the world, going up against the Eagles secondary, do you have a completion percentage less than 50? I don't care that he didn't throw a pick, but Jesus Christ, dude, Josh Allen is such a terrible quarterback. If Mitchell Trubisky is Blake Bortles 2.0, then Josh Allen is Blake Bortles 3.0. Legitimately. That's how I feel about Josh Allen. He is a terrible quarterback. Terrible. Put any decent quarterback on the Bills, and they're undefeated. They're legitimate contenders, but against the Eagles, they just got exposed, man. That quarterback is not going to take him anywhere. That defense is going to get tired eventually, if the games drag on, Josh Allen isn't doing anything, they're going to get tired towards the end of the game, and they're going to let up some yards. That's what happens to every single defense, no matter how good they are. And it's a real big shame from what it feels like, from what it seems like. Every time there's a really good defense in the NFL, for whatever reason, they're stuck with a terrible quarterback. You got the Bills with Josh Allen. You have the Bears with Trubisky. A couple years ago, you had the Jaguars 2017 defense with Blake Bortles. A year before that, the Texans defense with Brock Osweiler. That sucks, man. Why can't we ever have this team that has a dominant defense and an actual good quarterback? No. There's a dominant defense with a garbage quarterback like Josh Allen, and that really pisses me off, man. The Bills are wasting their time. They're wasting that defense. Next game, Seahawks at Falcons. Seahawks won this game 27-20. How about Matt Schaub, though? Man, he threw for 400 yards. That's crazy, man. But honestly, this game wasn't really that close. I feel like the Falcons kind of scored there in garbage time to make it seem closer. And, the Falcons go to 1-7. Their season's over. The Seahawks 6-2, and they're right in the thick of things, man. Really interesting division. Next game, Panthers at Niners. Yikes. Niners won this game 51-13. Panthers got exposed. They're not that good. Kyle Allen isn't good. And the Niners, they might have shut up some critics. Those critics saying that, easy schedule. They haven't beat anyone good. They're barely winning games. They might have silenced some critics, but personally, Kyle Allen, in my opinion, isn't good. So, 51-13, don't get me wrong, it's impressive, but still, who have you played? No one. Next game, Browns at Patriots. Patriots won this game 27-13. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I expected the Patriots to win. Everyone expected the Patriots to win. The Browns still suck. They need a new coach. Baker Mayfield looks terrible. I mean, you could even say Baker Mayfield is Blake Bortles 4.0 because that's how he's playing. Yeah, it seems like the only good thing coming out of Cleveland is Myles Garrett and Nick Chubb. Everything else is pretty much a mess. O-line's a mess. Odell Beckham, where's he at? He's gone missing. Denzel Ward is hurt, or he's been hurt. So, yeah, nothing good really coming out of Cleveland. And the Patriots, well, they go to 8-0, but, yeah, who have they played? So, yeah. Next game. Raiders at Texans. Texans won this game 27-24. Pretty much just a little shootout between Derek Carr and Deshaun Watson. Pretty fun to watch. Watson made some plays there at the end. Pretty much seal it. He got kicked in the eye and still threw a touchdown pass. So, Watson's great. Raiders, they go to 3-4. But in my opinion, they're a team on the come up. I think the Raiders are probably a draft away from being a legitimately good team. I mean, they competed with the Texans. They beat the Colts. They beat the Bears. So they're definitely an above average team. They can beat above average teams like the Colts, like the Bears. And they can compete with a team like the Texans that's a good team. But yeah, the Texans were injured. But still, give the Raiders credit. Next game. Packers at Chiefs. Packers won this game 31-24. Matt Moore actually did surprisingly good, which brings up the question, All the time people say Tom Brady's a system quarterback because, backup quarterbacks, Matt Castle, Jacoby Brissett, Jimmy Garoppolo, whenever Brady got hurt, they did good. Well, guess what? Before Patrick Mahomes got there, Alex Smith had career years in KC. Patrick Mahomes gets hurt. And a career scrub like Matt Moore has a great game against a really good Green Bay defense. What does that tell me? To those people that call Brady a system quarterback, well, maybe you gotta start doing the same thing with Patrick Mahomes. But, the Chiefs, they fought a 5-3. Clearly still in the playoff hunt. They're at the top of their division. And, yeah, they've actually lost 3 home games in a row, which I'm not sure that's happened in the Andy Reid era. But, yeah, still, though, that's crazy. And the Packers, they go to 7-1. They're top of their division and top 3 team in their conference. And the last game, Dolphins at Steelers. Steelers won this game 27-14. And how in the world did the Steelers let the Dolphins go up 14-0? I mean, maybe they did it on purpose, maybe the Steelers spotted the Dolphins 14 points, and then they were like, we'll give them 14 points, and then we'll try to come back to make things a little bit interesting and fun. I'm going to just go with that. But, yeah, the Steelers, they go to 3-4. I mean, yeah, they're doing better than I thought they would, but in my opinion, their season's still over, and the Dolphins, well, they're tanking. They're 0-7, and their season's been over before it even started, honestly. So, yeah, that's pretty much my take on Week 8 of the NFL season. Comment down below your own opinion on Week 8. Did you love it? Did you hate it? And yeah, be sure to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.